sodium hydrogen carbonate gives out sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide, and water. For sodium hydrogen carbonate, form this formula of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium is symbol of sodium
Na.
Na, and hydrogen carbonate
H.
hydrogen carbonate. Just now you have written.
CO3.
HCO3.
HCO3. Valency of sodium. You have done this in class 9th.
1.
1. And HCO3 valency.
-1.
-1.
1. Both are same, so no need to multiply anything. So directly you can write the formula as NaHCO3. So sodium hydrogen carbonate will become NaHCO3. RO. Sodium carbonate. So sodium carbonate is sodium symbol is Na, and carbonate symbol of carbonate
CO3.
CO3. Valency sodium 1. Carbonate valency
-2.
is 2.
It's 2, yeah, 2.
Cross multiply. They are not same, so you need to cross multiply. So formula will become Na2CO3. So sodium carbonate is Na2CO3 plus carbon dioxide CO2 plus water H2O. And now balance it. You need to form compound formula like this, and then you are supposed to solve, balance it. Some of them are already balanced. You have written, for that reason only right now I have given you all the element valencies and the polyatomic ions valencies.
Ma'am, BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives BaSO4 plus NaCl.
That's right. Barium chloride, barium valency 2, chlorine valency 1. So cross multiply, you will get barium chloride as BaCl2. The sodium sulfate will become Na2SO4, gives out BaSO4 plus sodium chloride is NaCl. Harshi, form the third one.
1 second, ma'am.
Ma'am, at last we have to balance it also. Ma'am.
Yes, you have to write the formula first, and then you have to balance as well.
Ma'am, Cu plus AgNO3 twice.
Wait. So, Soumya, I told Harshi to do that.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
Wait, each and every student will tell that answer. Otherwise, you will only keep telling and others will keep providing only.
Ma'am, I'm not getting it. 2 minutes.
Why? Why, Harshi?
I
What's the
don't.
problem? You have all the elements,
Yeah, ma'am. 1 second.
then you can't form the compound formula. With valency is also given here.
Ma'am, is it CuAgNO3?
Cu plus no.
Cu plus AgNO3.
AgNO3 how? Was the nitrate valency? Wait, Sabrish. Was the nitrate valency, Harshi?
1.
One. So, and silver valency? It's given in the bracket.
Ma'am, 2.
So, what is the formula?
Ag2. Ag valency 2.
Formula, I'm asking.
AgNO3 in brackets and then 2. So yeah.
AgNO3 twice.
Yeah, ma'am.
What? Yeah. It is class 9 thing. And you were there here in the class. And I have each and every question I've explained properly. Are you sleeping in the class or not revised anything? You are working like you are learning this first time.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Amrish, what's your doubt?
Mom, can I answer this one?
Yeah, Jay.
Ma'am, for ammonia plus hydrochloric acid, we should do we'll get
What's the formula for ammonia?
H4.
Just now you have written Sabresh, check.
ma'am, I know NH3 plus HCl equal to NH4Cl. And ma'am, NH4Cl will be solid. Yeah, solid.
Already balanced. Namita, fifth one. And turn on your camera.
Ma'am, 1 second.
Hanif,
Ma'am.
Soumya, Hasini, Yash, Ayush, Ganesh. Hasini, what's the answer of this calcium hydroxide formula? Not Hasini, sorry, Shreya.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Cl bracket OH close bracket 2.
Calcium, what is the symbol for calcium?
Sorry, C bracket OH 2
Calcium formula.
calcium. C no C A bracket OH to the power 2 plus C
Not power 2, it is AOH twice.
okay OH twice plus CO2 gives CaCO3 plus H2O. Now it's already balanced.
Yeah. Ayush, sixth one. Ayush, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sixth one.
Zn plus Ag NO2 plus Zn NO2 plus Ag.
No. Formula of this. Right, properly. Silver to nitrate.
Ma'am, AgNO3 twice.
AgNO3 twice. Gives out
Zinc ZnNO3 plus Ag.
no. Zinc nitrate formula. Make properly. What's the formula for zinc nitrate?
Ma'am, is it Z?
Yes. Zinc valency
Ma'am, 2.
and nitrate is
1.
nitrate formula.
NO.
NO.
NO3.
NO3 valency.
1.
So what's the formula? What's the formula, Ayush?
ZnNO3 twice.
ZnNO3 twice.
I made a mistake here.
Plus silver. Sabrishi, 8th one, 7th one.
Al plus 3CuCl gives
Al plus here. What is the valency? Write the formula for copper chloride properly.
CuCl twice.
CuCl twice gives out
AlCl3
AlCl3 plus
plus copper.
copper. Balance it. Yeah.
2Al plus 3CuCl2 gives 2AlCl3 plus 3Cu.
Right. Namita, last one, 8th one.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn on your camera first.
Ma'am, it is, ma'am, the first I should give the equation, right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, it's BaCl2 plus K2SO4 gives BaSO4 plus KCl.
Yes, right.
And then the balanced equation BaCl2 plus K2SO4 gives BaSO4 plus 2KCl.
Tell everyone, remaining questions you can solve now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
8 more questions are there. So you can solve those. Then moving to the next part of the chapter is making chemical reactions more informative, making chemical equations more informative. So we are not supposed to write only the formula of the compounds and balance them. Along with that, there are many more things are also required. So what are the things required to make the equations more informative? So that is everything will be written in the equation along with the compound formula, so that it is easier to understand the type of equation, how they are reacting, in which form they are reacting, what are the conditions necessary, those also we need to write. So like first rule, that is you need to write physical state of every compound element, right? Physical states, or we need to mention physical states of the elements or compounds of reactants and products. If you know this, then only you are able to perform the activity in the lab. Otherwise, a newcomer who don't know, that is directly if it is written BaCl2 plus K2SO4 BaSO4 plus 2KCl. So he won't understand that is in which form it will react. Now suppose it is barium chloride and potassium sulfate, the reaction it is written up here. So these two, if they are available in the solid state, these are salts. So these are available in the solid powdered state. So these powders, if we add, no reaction will take place. So by this equation, writing this way, only the formula of the compounds will not work out. If anyone wants to perform this reaction, he can't do, because he is not knowing in which state this compounds has to be taken. Because there is a condition requirement is there. This reaction, above I've written that reaction, will take place only when these two salts are dissolved in water. That is, in the aqueous state, only these compounds react. In solid state, they are available as a common salt. Just like common salt is available, like that barium chloride and potassium sulfate, both of them are available in white powdered form. But when we combine them, they won't react. They only get physically mixed. Chemical reaction won't take place. So it is necessary that those two will react only in the aqueous state. So we need to mention that in the equation. So whichever the state we are taking the substance, we need to mention. Now, some of the time products produced is not known to the person. Just like water sometimes produced is in the liquid state, and sometimes water is produced in the steam form. Due to larger heat, the water produced, the product side, if the water is produced, sometimes it will be, it is produced in liquid state, and sometimes it is produced in gaseous state. So the person need to know that. Otherwise, if he is standing nearby, he has to take a precaution, because if steam completely comes out, it will be much more warmer. So he has to take care of those. Just like in some of the example, you have seen decomposition reaction, iron sulfate, when it is heated strongly, it gives out SO2 and SO3 gases, which are choking gases, suffocating gas. So while performing that activity in the lab, the person has to hold the test tube away from the nose. Otherwise, he will start choking. There is a much more uneasiness will be happen if the gas is inhaled. The person will start suffocating effect. So that should not happen. So that while performing any equations, chemical reactions, the person has to take care. So for that, he need and as well as some collection. Gases are involved. The collection techniques are different. So he need to know in which form it is produced, which gas is produced. If it is a gas or it is in the liquid state, that this person has to know. Then only he can check out the collecting techniques or testing techniques he can use. Therefore, we need to mention physical states of reactants and products when we write a chemical equation. For that, we use some abbreviations. For solid state, we use bracket S. in bracket S in the bracket below the compound, we need to write it. For liquid, we use L. For gas, we write G in the bracket. And for aqueous state, that means a compound when dissolved in water. Solvent is water. When any substance dissolved in water, then whichever the solution is produced, that is called as aqueous state. And for that, we need to write AQ. So therefore, we can write as carbon combines with oxygen, forms carbon dioxide. So carbon taken, it is in solid state. So below carbon in bracket, we have to write S. Oxygen is taken in gaseous state. And carbon dioxide also produced is gaseous state. We need to mention that.
And so in brackets, we have to mention.
Yeah, below in bracket, you have to write. Below, not beside it. Beside, but it is lower portion. Just like the above equation, barium chloride is taken in aqueous state plus K2SO4. Potassium sulfate also it is taken in aqueous state and it reacts and form BaSO4. It is in solid state actually. And potassium chloride produced is in aqueous state again. Barium sulfate is a precipitate. It won't dissolve in water. It remain insoluble. So therefore, this is we call as precipitate. This is a precipitate produced. And whenever precipitate is formed, we have to show downward arrow because this compound settles at the bottom of the container or test tube. So therefore, whenever the precipitate is produced, precipitate that is a liquid solution, the compound produced are in a solution state. And in solution state, BaSO4, barium sulfate is a compound which won't dissolve in water. So there is an aqueous solution. So these two are aqueous solution, that is the presence of water. But in that water, BaSO4 won't dissolve. So it remain insoluble. So when it is insoluble, then it will settle down because it is heavier. So it will settle down at the bottom of the test tube. So white that we call as precipitate. So therefore, to show precipitate in any formula equation, we need to write it with the downward arrow has to be shown.
If downward arrow is mentioned, don't need to write precipitate in the equation.
No need to write. You any one of them you can write. If precipitate is formed, show it with or represent it with downward arrow. After the compound. And if gas is evolved, gas is produced as a product, only as a product, then represent it with upward arrow. Because it is a gas, it can evolve out. It is going out. So we have to show upward arrow after that. If any acid is involved, then we need to write its concentration. If any acid is evolved, need to write its concentration. That is, if it is a dilute acid, is shown by DIL before the acid. And if it is concentrated, need to write CONC before the acid. Just like when zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid and forms zinc chloride plus hydrogen. Zinc is taken in solid state. This is always, acids are always in aqueous states. Zinc chloride produces aqueous state and hydrogen gas is evolved, so upward arrow. And HCl is used in dilute form, so DIL before the HCl we need to write. Because why we need to write? as the reactions of dilute acids and reactions of concentrated acids are different from each other. Similar element or a compound reacts with acids differently with different concentrations of acids. Just like, for example, copper, if we make it react with H2SO4, copper when reacts with dilute H2SO4, no reaction takes place. There is no reaction. But when copper reacts with concentrated H2SO4, then the reaction takes place. So it will form copper sulfate plus sulfur dioxide plus water. Clear? So reactions with dilute acids and concentrated acids are somewhat different sometimes. They are not same. So therefore we need to write its concentration, whether it is a dilute acid we have taken or whether we have taken a concentrated acid. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, first, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
In that we have mentioned it is G in bracket gaseous
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
So in that
Anyone you can use, write it upward arrow. Okay. Now, if any temperature or pressure conditions are required, we need to mention them over this arrow. If any temperature or pressure conditions are necessary, mention it in the reaction. For example, this formation of water, H2 plus O2 reacts together to form water. So here we know that is heat energy is involved. So in this reaction, we need to write condition, that is electric current has to be passed. Electric current has to be written between the arrow. This is between reactant and product, whichever the arrow is there, on that arrow, you have to write the conditions required. Formation of ammonia. Nitrogen and hydrogen combines to form ammonia, but this will not happen without temperature and pressure conditions. It needs approximately 500 degrees Celsius temperature, 200 atmospheric pressure is needed. And there is one more element is needed, which we will call as catalyst. So iron is also required for this reaction. Iron works as catalyst. So catalyst is element or a compound which when added in a reaction will not take part in the reaction. It is only used to aggravate the reaction, increase the speed of reaction. So without iron also this reaction will take place, but will not with the proper rate. So we need to add iron. So where the temperature, actual needed temperature is much higher than 500 degrees Celsius and at more atmospheric pressure is needed. But due to addition of iron, this reaction can take place at lesser temperature and lesser pressure. So one more there is there extraction of aluminium. This is to know only, not to remember. For extraction of aluminium from aluminium oxide, bauxite. So there are also catalysts are added. Why? Why it is needed? Because to sometimes what happen, the melting point of any solid, it's too high to take that much temperature to create that much temperature will be much more problematic, because that container may not sustain that temperature. Maybe that temperature more energy is needed. So whatever the place we have created or container we have created, that will not work out with that temperature or pressure. So with the normal conditions, to bring that reaction to perform that reaction at normal conditions, that is lesser temperature, at lesser temperature, any solid is made to melt or react by addition of some catalyst. Okay, so we are making things easier by addition of these elements. Actually, these elements do not take part in that reaction, but they are only helping the reaction to take place, speeding up the reactions. Clear what do you mean by catalyst?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the conditions you need to write in any chemical equations while writing. If it is conditions are important in that reaction, you should mention, otherwise you will lose marks. Just like some of the students have learned, they have joined the class after this. So those we have written, whenever we write calcium carbonate heated strongly produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So on the arrow, we need to write heat. If you don't write heat, because we need to heat calcium carbonate, then only it decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So if you don't write heat, that reaction has not taken place. So no marks will be given to that reaction. Water will decompose. The decomposition of water you have learned, electrolytic decomposition of water you have learned. So in that also, the water will decompose to form hydrogen gas and oxygen gas only when electric current is passed. Otherwise, if the current is not passed, the reaction won't take place. So therefore, it is mandatory to mention any temperature or pressure conditions, or if any catalyst is required for that reaction, has to be maintained over the arrow. It's clear? Have you written all these points?
Ma'am, right.
Ma'am, can you scroll it?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. And now characteristics of the chemical reactions. Characteristics, that means the observable changes happening at the time of chemical reactions. While performing any chemical reactions, whatever the observations you see, all those are called characteristics of the chemical reactions. So we can see the changes which are happening at the time of chemical reactions. That is, heat is produced sometime or heat is given up. Heat is used up by the reactants. Sometimes heat is produced and sometimes heat is used up. So in both the cases, when heat is produced, we have to write that on the product side. Just like carbon combines with oxygen, produces carbon dioxide, plus heat also given out. So therefore, plus heat we have to write on the product side. And in some reaction, heat is used up. So in that case, calcium carbonate heated strongly. So that means it will absorb heat energy and forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Here the heat is used up by these compounds. We need to write heat on this arrow, or we can write calcium carbonate plus heat on the reactant side. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So change in temperature, we can see temperature changes. Gas is evolved. Sometimes, not all the equations, sometimes in some equations, gas is evolved. Sometimes precipitate is formed. Sometimes there is a change in odor. Smell has changed. Sometimes the color is changed. So these are all we call as characteristics of the chemical equations. Observational changes taking place. That means the changes which we can observe. So all those are called as characteristics. Okay. So we need to know this for every equation. You need to know these. If there is any changes has taken place, you need to remember for this equation, for those equations which you are learning further. If there is a change in temperature, you need to write it down. When it is gas is produced, we have to show it with upward arrow. If precipitate is formed, that we have to show with the downward arrow. If there is any change in odor for particular gases, when they are produced, they have particular odor. So that you need to know which gas is produced, what are the particular smell they have. So you need to know those smells, which type of a smells those are produced. And if there is a change in color, so which color was there and what is a new color is formed, that you have to remember. For the equations, reactions, you are learning further onwards. Till this part, whatever you have learned, no, you are not supposed to remember. After this, when we start with the types of chemical reactions, from there you have to learn. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have write it down and then we'll start maths. Types of chemical reactions we will study from tomorrow.
Ma'am, so can you read